Hello, we're here again at the Money Matters Café in the town hall. So we're here every Thursday afternoon from 2 till 4. But having said that, next week is going to be our last session for the year. Next week we're going to talk about financial New Year's resolutions. But this week we're talking about planning for Christmas. But not planning for Christmas this year. I think it's way too late to plan for Christmas this year from a money point of view. So we're talking about planning for Christmas 2024. And I've got some tips, some suggestions that you might want to think about. The first one is really to add up how much you've spent on Christmas this year, and not just the day, but as Sam said when we were talking about this just a moment ago, there's so much in the run up to Christmas, all of the parties that you have to go to. And so add all of that in, the travel that you need to do to visit family members, food, presents, clothing that you need to buy or want to buy for parties or the day itself. So add everything up and do a budget. Work out exactly how much you've spent. Divide that by 12, and that's the amount that you should save every month through the year next year in order to fund Christmas 2024. And just see if that's affordable for you. If you think, well, hang on a minute, I can't afford to save that amount every month, well, then perhaps scale back your plans for next year. Think, can I do anything cheaper? Is there anything I could save a bit of money on by buying in the January sales rather than trying to cram it all into December's expenditure, because that just doesn't work, and it's a really easy way to tip over into debt that you'll end up spending all of that money on debt next year rather than saving, so that it perhaps costs you a little bit less than it has done this year. So work out if it's affordable. If not, can you cut back in any way? Can you scale back your plans in any way? Save some money, have a look in the January sales. Now Sam, you've got a good tip in that regard,
I
haven't
always
you?
buy in the January sales because everything's reduced, especially things like cards and Christmas paper. The shops just want to get rid of it. But also a lot of food stuffs like puddings and things like that. They'll actually survive. You've got to look for the expiry date on the end of them. But they'll last, steamed puddings will last like years in the cupboard. So I stock up on all of those things in January, and I save a lot of money as long as you can find them. I hide them in all sorts of places thinking, right, that's for next year, and then don't remember. But I do it with presents as well, because you find quite a few things are reduced for January sale. So I get a little cupboard drawer going of presents that sometimes they always make it to Christmas, and sometimes they're given out as gifts through the year, but I find that saves a great deal of money.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good idea. Having a presents drawer or a cupboard that you can set aside. Yeah. Okay. If you don't plan for Christmas, then you'll end up trying to fit all of Christmas expenditure into November's pay packet. So probably payday today, or maybe you get paid on the last Friday of the month, so maybe your payday was last Friday. But the idea of having to fit all of Christmas expenditure into 1 month is really not doable. And it's not like we don't know the date. I mean, it's not a surprise. It doesn't move around like Easter. We know exactly when Christmas is going to come, and we probably need to plan for that expenditure to happen through the year. So what you could do, if you've worked out your budget for Christmas 2024, what you could do is start to save a regular amount into a nominated account, either a regular savings account with a bank or building society, or the credit union. you could think about setting up a savings plan specifically with the Mendip Community Credit Union, and just save that amount. Not only will that give you the amount that you want to spend on Christmas next year, but if an unexpected expenditure comes during the year that you hadn't planned for, then you can always use that seed capital as affordable borrowing in the year. So you could use the amount that you have managed to save so far and borrow against that. And the credit union will always make sure that that's affordable for you, to make sure that you can get over the hump in the road, whatever it is that you've encountered during the year.
I'm finding that a lot of people are tending to save with cash as well, and I'm not sure if that's a habit you started to see, but I always put money aside in a pot that just as a Christmas fund.
Yes.
I've got that written on the pot, and that's literally, and it's always a surprise in December how much I've saved up.
Yes.
But there is a risk to that, isn't there? There's a risk to holding cash in your house and, you know, so the security of it.
And you're not going to get any interest on it.
Yes, it's true.
So, you know, if you can find a place, a good home for that cash, like the credit union or a regular savings account with a bank or building society. If you do like to save cash, then it's becoming more and more difficult to find a place where you can pay in cash in the town. But hopefully we'll have some good news about that in the new year if we've made any progress on getting one bank or another solution in the town. But the other thing to think about is the supermarket that you use regularly. Have you managed to build up any points or any bonuses in the year? Now might be the time to redeem all of those. I know Sainsbury's run something every year, and if you shop at Tesco's, I know that their club card system is changing, so it might be that you want to redeem them or at least renew them with Tesco's, because I think some of the older ones might be expiring soon. So have a look at that. Just make sure you don't lose out. But I know Iceland always run a savings scheme throughout the year, and they give you sort of bonus points in December. So now, just before December, might be a time to load some money onto your savings card, and you might find that they give you a really hefty bonus. And that would be that would translate to a really good interest rate, because you're only having it in there for a short time, but you're getting a big return on it. So when it comes to present shopping, if you do need to save money now and you've left planning too late, Amber came up with some good ideas that she and her family use, which is buy family presents rather than lots of individual presents. Maybe a board game for the whole family, or do a secret Santa amongst the whole family, so that you're not having to buy. Everyone's not having to buy a lot of presents. I know Martin Lewis talks every year about having a prenup, a Christmas prenup, which stands for no unnecessary present pact. Because otherwise, if I buy you a present, you'll feel obliged to buy me a present. I might have given you something you didn't want or need. You might have given me something I didn't want or need, and it would have been so much better for both of us if we'd said beforehand, my present for you is you don't have to buy me a present. Keep your money, buy yourself something that you want or need, and I'll do the same. And we're both actually better off.
I like to articulate that quite early on as well, because then it does stop people feeling obligated to buy presents and things. And I don't need anything, and you know, if I do, then I'll ask through the year. If someone wants to sort of give me a gift, I'm not going to say no, but to do it all at Christmas is such a burden on people.
It is, and that pressure builds and builds. It's almost like an arms race, and then it just all gets out of hand, and way too much money spent on things that aren't necessary, and they'll probably all end up in charity shops in January. So go around the charity shops in January and buy them all back at a discount.
The other thing I find is that people give gift vouchers, say like Marks and Spencer's or something like that. and I know that they end up in drawers and I don't actually use them.
Yes.
So that I've been caught a few times where the expiry date has gone on them, and that's just wasted money. That's wasted cash.
It is. So have a look in all your old wallets and purses. Have a look in those drawers. See if there's anything that you can still redeem, anything, or maybe contact them if they have expired. See if they will, if there's any grace period of extending them. But if you're buying vouchers for other people, just be a bit careful about that. There have been cases in the past where people have bought vouchers for Christmas, and then in January or February the company's gone bust. And you just end up being another one of the creditors to that company. So possibly if you're seeing the person, cash might be a better. I wouldn't suggest sending cash through the post, but if you're seeing the person, cash in a nice envelope might be a better present. So next week we'll have another session. We'll talk about financial New Year's resolutions, and then that will be our last session on a Thursday afternoon for this Money Matters Cafe. But next week as well, we are starting a session in the Good Heart Cafe, and that's on a Wednesday from 3 o'clock until 4:30, and that's just a cosy chat. It's also a warm space, so if you just want to pop in to have a cup of tea and warm up for a while, but there will be conversations about making ends meet. Okay, so thanks very much.
Thank you.